what I'd like to do now is just to take a couple of minutes and just talk about next year, because I think in reality, I think we've done a lot of talking about next year. No one knows what's going to happen, yet what we do know is that the largest financial organizations in the world are either have announced that they're coming into this space, or we know they have to, or they're going to be uncompetitive. It's really that simple. And if that happens, then crypto as a market will continue its transformation. It'll mean that as an industry we'll go into the mainstream. It means that a lot of people that you've talked to crypto about will suddenly go, hey, do you know anything about crypto, Grant? And you'll go, dude, I talked to you about it 9 months ago. Okay. And you have to be very kind to these people, because some people miss things, really important stuff. And the great challenge is to not make them embarrassed about the fact that they ignored it, or they said, oh, you know, it's that crypto. Really, Laurie, are you still involved in that crypto rubbish? When they see the other organizations. And what will happen next year is it will be a very, very, very different crypto than what it's been this year. Okay? Expect major financial organizations to launch. Okay? And I mean like ASX, I mean like major banks, I mean like major organizations. As people who have known me for a few years know that I always expected that to happen. If you believe in the value that crypto has, of course they're going to come into the marketplace. It's just a matter of time. And the cool thing about us is that we are positioned away from them. We want them to come into the marketplace. We want them to change what we're doing. We're very happy about taking a certain market share from them, because there's a lot of people in Australia, right? There's a lot of people. There is $750 billion just in self-managed super funds alone. 750 billion Australian dollars in only self-managed super funds. That's not counting the other money. There's probably $1 trillion in total. And of that, it makes sense for something like, 2 to 5% of that money to come into the space. So sometime over the next couple of years, tens of billions of dollars will pour into the space, not from financial institutions, just from people. Got it? Just from people. I'm not talking about the big super funds or anything like that. I'm just talking about the people. And so that creates an opportunity for us. Now, the other positive thing, obviously, is that the marketplace for new coins and new opportunities will suddenly become very attractive, which obviously makes for the listing of the Dacxi coin a lot more attractive. I was hoping to have some news for you today. We're just waiting, we're just waiting on this flipping exchange to just go final. Thanks. In reality, we got the tick. We got the last tick supposedly on Thursday night. We're waiting for them to go, okay, that's all okay, and this is when we can launch, when we agree the listing date. And then around that is a whole marketing strategy, which is a pre-marketing strategy and a post-marketing strategy and a market-making strategy and all of those things, which I've spent nearly a whole day on recently, just trying to confirm things, waiting. As an organization, they got us surprised by the amount of money we said we would spend on marketing. The reason is we want to make sure that this coin is a success, not just in the first week, but in the next month, 3 months, 5 months. Our interest is not about listing the coin. Our interest is what the coin is going to be worth at the end of the year, end of next year. We, as an organization, next year will be launching probably 50 platforms, potentially 100, up to 100, but but certainly we've got actual laid out plans for the top 50 countries in the world.
I am, yes, yeah.
And so for us, it's a matter of, we have very big things in the UK happening, huge things. Like we're going to be launching we will hopefully we'll have the first ISA, crypto ISA in the UK.
ISA in the UK is like an asset.
That's so look, it's imagine if you weren't allowed to buy crypto in a self-managed super fund unless you had a special program. So it'll be the only way that you can buy crypto tax-free in the UK. So for that we have a big time sales director joining in January. We have a big time marketing director joining. If my next meeting on Monday goes well, we have a very big program to push that and also launch into Europe. Okay, we have Catherine there has just been approved to join the board of the major crypto association.
We're the ninth and final company to be allowed into that. So the other ones are all Coinbase, Kraken,
Binance.
Binance, all the big ones, and us.
Yeah. So so it's major.
So we're be very influential there now.
So it's major credibility, and the reason why we're spending all this money in the UK is that everyone knows that if you have credibility in the UK, you have it everywhere in the world. Would you agree?
Yeah.
If you got it there, it's the one country in the world, better than the United States.
And Cairns.
Better than.
That's the most important place.
And it's so. It's not just the focus on the UK that's important, it's credibility in the UK that's important, because with that credibility, we can bring that to Australia. It means that the Australian Financial Review and all these other major Australian organisations will take us a hell of a lot more seriously if we do that. So we have, as I said, we have very big plans for 2021. In reality, we expect to probably grow in Australia by probably 100 times. We will be hiring in the first quarter. We'll be hiring a CEO solely for Australia, a marketing boss solely for Australia. I've got all the job descriptions, and we'll be going out with that in the new year, after Christmas in the new year, to really push Australia. Hopefully I'll be able to get on an aeroplane and get to Sydney and be able to help the guys set up the infrastructure. In reality, we can cover a lot of stuff from New Zealand, but at the end of the day, if you want to be big, with an ASX listing, with all of that sort of self-managed super fund focus, we really need to build that infrastructure. Personally, I just didn't want to. The idea of hiring someone as important as the CEO for Australia over a Zoom call, I'm just too old school. But we're going to have to. I'm going to have to do that. There's nothing I can get around it. Hopefully there'll be able to be travel between Perth and Sydney. So the other Australian director, Goose, who you've met, hopefully he'll be able to get on an aeroplane and do some face-to-face interviews as well. He's waiting to do that. So, when we look at 2021, it's crazy. We call it our momentum year. If you'd like to know, in the plans internally, we call it our momentum year. And in reality, it's not about adding a whole lot of products or anything like that for Australia. It's just really about riding the wave as effectively as we can. It's about getting the message out as much as we can, and just assuming that our message, which is, say, buying crypto and we'll help you, okay? Buy crypto and we'll help you, which we believe that the market will eventually realize is the best thing that could happen. Yeah. So really, that's us for 2021.